Hi everyone, I'm Seb, I'm the head of product, and I'm super happy to have you for this session about product management, and it's more specifically about how you can drive the product being only one product manager. And we'll have a small part of how you can build a team from scratch. All right, so just to give you a little bit of background and who's talking to you today, I'm Seb, I'm the head of product at Agorapulse. I've been the only one PM and the only one product person for years at Agorapulse, and I am now managing a team of 9 people, including product managers, designers, QA, soon marketing, so that the whole team is growing this way. And from my background, I'm more coming from the business side, meaning that I know some of you guys may be coming from the dev ecosystem or even the design or else. I'll explain you why in our company having a marketing or business background is what we prefer for product people and a product position. Okay, so for the story and the beginning of the story, you're in a small company. We had 2 co-founders, 2 tech team members, 1 support team, and I was the guy in the marketing team. And at this stage, there's no product people. There's no product guy or reference for the product. Actually, product is everybody in the company. You're just working hard to make sure that the company is doing something great and succeeding, and there's no specific product. And then the team grows, and this is what you got. Several teams. Founders, designers, tech, marketing, QA, sales, CS, support, and the product team. So, you're the only one product manager in your company. How can we drive this product? First of all, and this is probably because I love soccer, I consider the product manager as the midfielder in the team. You could name it like the captain or whatever. You're just actually in the center. You can move the ball on the back, in the front, on the side. You're actually managing a lot of information, and this is part of how you can succeed being only one product manager and how you can drive the product. First of all, you need to build trust, and this is absolutely key. How can you build trust? You can get a clear definition of the job from stakeholders. This is key, and that's what I did, and I explain in a few examples. You can demonstrate, and you have to demonstrate product knowledge. Sounds obvious, but I can tell you, I've met many product managers not knowing 100% of the tool. And if not 100%, at least understand all of the business logics and every pain and every topics about the product. This is key. Share, and share again, and after that, well, guess what? Share again. You're the only one product manager. And if you need to build trust, and you have to build trust, you need to share your product knowledge, the user feedback, the support pains, the customer success needs, the sales requirements. You need to share to make sure that everybody in the company understands how the product can work and can help the teams, and how you, as the product manager, are an asset to all those teams. Number 4, do not fear constructive conversations. As the PM, you will have very, very difficult conversations. You'll have to say no to feature requests. You'll have to sometimes make the decision when the designer or the dev are not in an agreement. You will need those constructive conversations, and you will need to be part of those. And being able to be part of those will help you building trust. Few examples: when I took the product position at the very beginning, I asked for a meeting with my stakeholders, and I asked them, okay, you need a product manager. Great. Again, I was on the marketing side, and I asked them, okay, what do you think is the product manager responsibility? What is his area of decision making or responsibility or whatever? What is, in your opinion, the product manager role? And you need a clear definition. because this will be the beginning of trust. If you have a clear definition, you will have your own responsibility. You will be able to build trust with every team. The other topics is don't be afraid to say I don't know. Users will do, actually, mostly if it's about a behavior, a product feature, whatever. Do not be afraid to say I don't know. Saying I don't know is probably the most difficult thing we can do in a job, and this doesn't mean that you don't have the skills or you're not doing a great job. It just means that you don't know, and your job will be to go to the right place to ask and get the answer, and then share the answer. That's how you build trust. So building trust with every team you're working with is definitely the number one thing you need to do to drive a product as only one PM. Number 2, involve the tech people. If you're the only one product people, you need to make sure that people who are building the product, technically, are fully onboarded, are fully involved in the whole process. Number 1, share the why. People are building the product technically, but if you don't tell them why we're building this or that, they will lose motivation very soon. So make sure you explain the business reasons and why it's great to build this feature and how useful it will be for the users. Sharing the why is definitely a good way to onboard your tech into the whole process. Then involve them into the UI UX brainstorming. The earlier, the better. Make sure that they're involved here because you will get soon the technical blockers or technical requirements you need. And that is super important for us. Each member has a responsibility. So designers are designing the whole experience. You are building the experience, choosing the roadmap, defining the priorities, and the developers are developing the product. So all those roles are really important. So one mistake that product managers are commonly doing at the beginning of their experience is that they consider developers as coders, just coders. And this is probably the biggest mistake you could do as a product manager, and especially if you're only one PM in your company. Number 4, tech team is your best ally. Just for all the reasons I explained, make sure that you really consider them as your best product ally and not just coders. Number 3, communicate. You're the only one product manager. You have a lot of information to handle. User feedback coming from customer-facing teams, from marketing, feature requests coming from stakeholders. You have the responsibility to manage the resources you have, and then to follow the market trends. You have a lot to handle. So the better you communicate, the better it is for your daily tasks and your daily routine. So first of all, you adapt your language. You're not the boss, you're the driver. You're driving the whole thing. It means that you're not telling who's doing what and how to do it. You're not micromanaging a feature team, for example. You're just making sure that everybody's going in the right direction. And this is really different than being the boss. You're a leader, and we'll get back to this notion later. Second, you take notes. Sounds obvious again, but if you have meetings and you don't take notes, believe me, there will be questions about, hey John, did you make a decision on that? If you didn't take notes and share them somewhere on a tool, you might be lost, and this will not help you communicate efficiently. Then you set meetings and rituals because this is where all the teams will meet and discuss and share. And this is absolutely important that you set those meetings so they're efficient. Little hint here, make sure there's an agenda. Before every meeting, you need an agenda and you need minutes from those meetings. Number 4, repeat. I guess this is self-explanatory. Part of the job, of course, in the product is to repeat. Repeat the user feedback, repeat the technical requirements, repeat the support pains, repeat the resource management, repeat the time deadlines, whatever. You need to repeat everything. So don't be surprised. Repeating is actually part of the job. Okay, what I did, just an example, what I did while I was the only one product people in the company is that at the beginning I was having one-on-one meetings with marketing people, support people, CS people, tech people, and I was just actually repeating myself. And I was wasting a lot of time. So what I did is that I gathered all these people into only one meeting. There was an agenda for this meeting. I was taking notes. I was having minutes at the end. And I was sharing all this information from those meetings to everyone else. So basically, I organized a sharing meeting, like a collaboration meeting between product and marketing. And now we have everybody on the same page. And we're just using 1 hour meeting every month. Doesn't mean that I don't have other meetings with other people, even from the marketing side or the CS side or the tech side. It's just that I'm gathering people who needs the same information into one meeting, and that is key. So if you create your meetings and your rituals on a regular basis, frequently, you will improve your communication skills. Second example is that as the product manager, it's not easy to say I don't know, but saying no to a feature request is not easier. But you have to say no most of the time. 90% of the time, you'll have to say no. The only one thing that matters here is you explain why you say no to this feature request. And that it's not the right time, you don't have the resources, there are bigger goals you need to attend or to achieve. This is actually what you need to explain. So make sure that when you say no, you always bring an explanation. This will also help you build in trust, just so you know. Number 4, use the right tools. For what? Well, of course, get user feedback, track results, share information, make the right decision. Sounds pretty clear that you have 2 legs, 2 arms, your brain, 24 hours a day. You need tools to help you, saving time and better handle everything you have to handle. So there are 2 types of tools. The first one is softwares. At Agorapulse, we use more than 80 softwares, online SaaS tools to help us managing everything we have to manage. For example, we use Heap to analyze product usage. This is a great tool. I use Pendo to get feedback from our users. You could use UserPilot or AppQues to set guides and walkthroughs to help your users discovering features or doing specific stuff. We're also using Intercom to talk to our users. Of course, this is the bigger one. We're using Satismatter to run our NPS surveys and Figma to design. Of course, Google Drive is also something we use on a regular basis. So do not be afraid to invest in tools because those are the biggest ally for you to save time and being more organized. The next tool that you need to use, and this is not considered as a tool, we all consider tool as softwares, but having good processes is definitely the best tool you can use. So at the beginning, little story here, we're arriving on Monday morning with our product team, and okay, well, everybody's here, let's start. What do we do this week? And when you ask this question every Monday morning, this is putting a lot of pressure. First on your shoulder as the only one PM, but also in developer shoulders. And this is creating a huge lack of visibility for every team. Marketing, support, CS, founders, yours, tech. Everybody is missing information. What is coming in the next few weeks? So I decided to stop the weekly thing and go for the 6-week cycle, which is inspired by Basecamp. And this is the process. You define topics for the next 6 weeks. Feature 1, feature 2, depending on who's working on that. And at the end of the 6 weeks, you will go for a 2 weeks cycle where tech team will focus on very technical stuff. API upgrades, maintenance, research and development, infrastructure updates, whatever. This is where you in the product team will actually prepare the next 6 weeks. So you have 6 weeks, 2 weeks, 6 weeks, 2 weeks. And this is how you can bring visibility to the table and to the whole company, from stakeholders to marketing through support, CS, tech. The 6 weeks cycle process is here to bring visibility and to give visibility to everyone in the company. And I hope it helps. So those are sneak peeks about tools, about building trust, communication. I'm open to the whole discussion here. Those are just a few hints, but feel free to reach out if you would like to know more. So to sum up, 4 takeaways. You are the only one product manager and you need to drive one product. You need to build trust. You need to communicate efficiently. You need to involve the tech team. And again, I emphasize this point. This is super important. Don't be afraid of having tech team members with you. They will not steal your job at all. They will just help you making a better product. And 4, use the right tools. And do not consider tools just as softwares, but think about the processes. I hope those helps. Again, I'm open to the discussion to continue this offline if you have any questions or need more details about all of that. There are many more things that could be shared. Second part here is how to build a product team. And remember this, product, everyone is product in a small company. There's no product specific people. Well, this is growing, you'll start having more teams. And now it's time to structure the organization and to know who will be part of the product team. We've made our choice. In the product team, in the HR sense, we have the design, we have the product, and we have the QA. Tech team is not organizationally or in the structure in the product team. But in the large sense, we definitely consider the tech team part of the large product team, of course. So how do you build the product team from scratch? There are 3 items. The first one is be a good leader. I'm not talking about a manager. I'm not talking about a boss. I'm talking about a leader. And to do this, you first, of course, need to demonstrate product expertise. That's the first point. But the second, which is, I think, even more important, is that you show your emotional intelligence. You're talking to many different people. Your QA guy, your designers, but even the marketing, the sales, the support, the CS, those people are really different. And I'm not even talking about the users who may be whole different. But consider that you need to manage emotions. Product is the center of things. And people have a lot of opinions about that. So make sure that you manage your own emotions and you can influence emotions from others. This is key. And showing your emotional intelligence will help you being a good leader. That is for sure. Do not fear constructive conversation. It's back to the point we had before. Don't be afraid. You'll have to say no. Well, go for it. You might disagree with your product lead designer. Well, go for this discussion. Do not fear those constructive conversations because it will help you being a good leader. Number 2, get the right profile into the team. So as I told you, I'm coming from the business side, and you need to choose depending on your company. It really depends on your company, your values, and what you think is great. On our side, and this is why our product managers are all having a business side and not a dev or design, it's because I told you, the tech team is super involved in the product, even the brainstorming sessions. So we don't need the tech expertise to be on our product side. We do have one coming from the dev team to participate to those meetings. But what we need on our product side is the business understanding of why we need to build those features and how, and to feel users' pain and to make sure that we can track things. So the business side on our side for the product is what we prefer, but you may have a developer background, you may have a designer background, it really depends on your company. But make sure you choose the right one depending on your organization. Product management is about soft skill. So during the interviews, make sure that, of course, you can focus on a specific exercise during the interview, but really pay attention to the soft skills, how people are talking, how they think, how they behave. As a product manager in touch with a lot of different teams, again, back to the emotional intelligence, be careful about the soft skills. Choose the no ego path related to the soft skills, but don't forget that people will get shoutouts or praises, or mostly developers, designers, people are building stuff. The product manager will not get the praises or the shoutout on a regular basis, except from the manager or the stakeholders. Reminder, you ask them about the product manager role and responsibilities. But other than that, as a product manager and as people working on the product team, you're working in the shadow, basically. So choose the no ego path. And then number 4, to choose the right profile and to hire the right people, make sure you ask your team. You do have a team already, or some developers, or some people who knows product managers or designer, or even QA. Just ask them. You may be surprised they know someone. So don't forget that. Number 3, get the right jobs. So you have the right people, but make sure you have the right jobs included in your organization and the organization of your product team. So we've chosen to have the design, the product management, and the QA. But these bring more questions to the table. Should we have dev part of the product team? As I said, we consider the dev team as a specific team. They have a really big expertise, and we have many developers, so they have their own teams on our side. So, but in your company, having dev included in the product may be a good idea. But at least you have to ask the question, should we include dev in the product team, in the HR way? The next question is about, should we add marketing to the product team? Well, I consider that the marketing team should be a specific team, but we are adding one person from the marketing team to the product team. And this person will report to me. So she will be specifically completely involved in the product, but she will have a marketing role, making sure that she understands why we build this, how users are using the product, and then she will help the marketing team to better market the product. She will be actually the bridge between the product team and the marketing team. And I think having someone from the marketing team in the product team is a good key to success. So now you know your team. You have product people, you have designer, you have QA people, and then you have another team with the tech. How is this working? Actually, this is our structure. We have feature teams. We basically have 4 feature teams in the company, where you will find one designer, one product manager, one QA, and different tech team members, basically full stack dev. And we have this format for every feature team. One designer, one product manager, one QA, and then the developers. There's no manager in these teams, but those teams are co-led by the lead dev and the product manager. So the product manager will help with the roadmap, the prioritization, and the business side, and the tech lead, the lead tech, will be here to lead the technical part of the feature team. And everybody's working very smoothly. And it's not about managing, being the boss. Actually here, the feature is the boss. And then we have 2 person per team leading and making sure that everybody's going in the right direction on the business side and on the dev side. And this is actually the best format we have. This is coming from the Spotify famous model, but actually we're just tweaking it because the Spotify model is not 100% working for us. So here again, make sure that you find the right path and the right format, the right structure for your company, and depending on the people you already have in your company. Okay, well, again, those are small sneak peeks, and I will be super happy to continue the conversation offline, just because I think driving a product with only one person is just the biggest challenge you might face today in your job. And building a product team is probably the most exciting challenge also you can face. 6 takeaways. First, build trust. Transparency. Make sure that you're here and you build trust with the whole team. You can build trust by making sure the tech love the product and they're best allies, and I've showed you how we do this. Communicate. Show your emotional intelligence and over communicate, obviously. Use the right tools. Again, do not consider the right tools just being at the softwares. You need processes and you need to give visibility, which is linked to the communication. and then get the right profile and get the right jobs. This is key. Bet on the soft skills. It's really important on the product management, and make sure the team includes design and QA, because design is about the before and QA is about the after, before you build and after you build. Okay, I hope this has been super helpful for you. Again, I'm here to continue the conversation offline. I hope you enjoyed this session, and I hope you enjoyed the previous one and the next one you're about to watch. Have a great one, guys, and talk to you very soon. Goodbye.